Well, hello. I just thought that I would show a project that I'm starting, and then every few months or every year or whatever, I'll show you how this progresses so you can kind of see what happens when you plant and you design all at the same time. These are baby beds. That's what I call them. These are brand new. Nothing here is even 6 months old yet. We've got several varieties of Japanese plums. We've got apples, we've got pears, pomegranates, chase seedless, jujube trees, different type of pears, Japanese persimmons. We've got a hybrid persimmon and some asparagus, a lot of sunflowers right now, which from different reasons. I'm starting some black raspberries here for the nursery, and this is brand new. I mean, these are all tiny. This is what it looks like when you plant trees. The first year and you start putting ground covers and stuff in, it's pretty barren. It looks lush now because of the sunflowers, which the sunflowers are there for a very particular reason, which I'll show you why. But what I do want to show you about these beds, part of design is if you live with somebody, you've got to work those people into your design. And my wife is a little nervous about me bringing an excavator to my side yard. So these beds, this goes downhill towards our main house. All these beds are put in on contour. They stop water, they sink water. Is it as good as a swell? Probably not. But it's as good as I could come up with at the time to harvest water in the bed, because the dirt's real fluffy, the ground's kind of hard, water comes down, and this top bed up here, it'll overflow, come to this one, and the way that the angle is, it can go through and around this bed, hit this bed, and work itself all the way down. It's really cool after a big rainstorm, because it starts really holding water down here after it all runs through the system. It's pretty neat. And there's some mulberries in there too. And one thing I do want to show you quickly, if you're in the south, this is a flying dragon. It is a little citrus that grows a lemon-like thing. It's not a true lemon, but when you put it in tea, it is awesome. It's a little stickier than a regular lemon. Now, even though I take very good care and I spend more time on the soil than I do the plants, here's a jujube that did not make it. So I'm going to replace it again next year. There's a jujube right here that made it and did just fine. So I'm going to replace this one. And if that jujube fails, then I'll just come up with a whole different species. I'm not going to exactly get worried about it. But what I want to show you is the sunflowers. What this really is comfrey startup beds. All those plants, there's like 80 of them in here that are brand new comfrey from roots. And I'm using the sunflowers as an overstory because the comfrey needs a little bit of shade to get going. And I've got a lot of manure inside of these beds for that comfrey. They really like it. So that's what these are here for. And while I'm up here, I don't know if you'll be able to see the ducks over there or not. There's my ducks. And when needed, I can use the water from that tub and that tank, which is plumbed, where I can flood these beds if needed. These are first year figs. They're all loaded up next to this house. It's a heat trap. This opening right here allows me to drive back to the ducks, mulch, stuff like that. But this is just baby beds. Immature trees that aren't going to do much this year, because that's what trees do. But next year, they're going to stretch your legs a little bit. It's not going to look a whole lot different. The third year, from my experience from having different areas, is the trees will take off running on that third year. And you'll notice that I've got some of the plum trees and pear trees that are really close. This is for me and my wife. This is not for production. We're not trying to sell fruit. I just want to be able to come and get fruit all year long during when it's warm. So I'm off a variety of different things, not off of max fruit per trees. But this is just the beginning of one of the areas that I have that I thought I'd share with you, that over time you'll see how this grows, especially when I get a lot more understory plants. This is just basically the main frame with trees. Now we'll show you this before I let you go. This looks like a massive weed bed. Now there's some sunflowers in there, but all these right here with the yellow flowers, my wife said she'd like to have some daisies somewhere, so I went and ordered some seed. I just threw them on the ground, put some hay on them, and now I've got a land race basically happening with daisy plants. There's 5 different varieties of daisies. I'm just going to let them do their thing. The strong will survive. It's putting a canopy on the ground, shading out the grasses. The bulbs and stuff have already went back down. It's not hurting the trees. Sunflowers aren't hurting the daisies. And I'll take the biggest and best and let them stay. And then the little scrub ones that come up next year, I'll probably pot up and move them around, and even some of the big ones, depending on how many it is, because that's pretty thick. And as someone that's thinking of a traditional garden, they're probably thinking that's just nothing but weeds, and it's really not. Pollinators are going to love that. But here's what the other side looks like. And we come around here, and I got my girls making me some super dirt and mulch.